Hi, this is Brad McCormick, and I'm doing the critical thinking of the in the middle school. What is critical thinking? Is a study of clear and unclear thinking. It is primarily used in the field of education and not in psychology. Education, I like to always think probably the biggest thing that we would probably use this in is science, as well as others aspects, but we typically think of science, kind of the scientific method. It can also be defined as the process of an activity of a thinking, applying, analyzing, evaluating information to come to a conclusion. And really, everybody, you read a poem and everybody has a different thought of maybe what the poem is about. And it's unclear until we, critically think and break down and think about or explain what we or why we think that way. In my eyes, like I said, this is very similar to the scientific method. um, Kind of some steps here. Critical thinking, discover and explore. And this is kind of going along the scientific method ways. This is where you take the topic and look more directly to see what it is you are trying to gather more information about. Whether it is that poem that you don't know what it's completely about, but you talk to others and try to figure out what their thoughts are, what your thoughts are, and maybe you can come up to a conclusion. This is the process in which you are trying to define what it is that you are trying to research. Sometimes you don't even know what you're actually looking for, but you got to go in and figure that out on your own. Negotiate and cooperate. I feel this is the most important one of these steps that where you need to come up into the discussion with an open mind and take in consideration others' thoughts. I know sometimes we go into things, or people, of some people that may just go into something and say, that's the way it is, and they're not very open-minded. But being open-minded and listening to others, like I have here, bouncing thoughts, ideas, and using them to come up with a better answer or conclusion. Because sometimes, oh, I didn't think about that. Even when we watch a movie, it's like, oh, did you get what they were trying to do? Those are the types of things that we need to do when we're critically thinking, and being able to cooperate and listen to others helps. Test and revise. In this step, we take the information we have, gather it from all the sources, and see if it works. Go back to read that poem again and see if, oh yeah, that's why they had said that at the end. Whether if it's even like the scientific method, maybe that's why. Looking at answers even with math, you have to revise how you did your work to see if you can come up with the same answer as the teacher or other people in your groups or such. In this step, you might also need to use different ideas, thoughts, and even alter some of those to make them the test to work correctly. Sometimes it doesn't work out. It's like, oh, I didn't get the answer, didn't get to the results that I thought that I was going to get to. And in order to do that, we may have to reanalyze and go back to the step where we kind of cooperate and learn and get some ideas and come up with some more ideas to maybe make them work. um, Interrogate and apply. We as individuals need to put these together and communicate the results with understanding to come up with the answers or the solutions. We all need to work together, apply those thoughts, and see if we all come up with that. Because sometimes one person might come up with it, and another person might come up with a different result. So we need to be sure, you know, if it's a story or if it's a movie, if it's a math assignment, whatever it might be, that we come up with the same results. And critical thinking. What are we going to do if we have a social studies project? We need to come to the same conclusion. Not one driven person in your group is the one that's what we're just going to go with their idea. Let's get a cooperative thought and come together as one. Inform and describe. This is the final step, in that you need to be able to answer the questions that you were trying to answer in the beginning. And this goes back to what do we know now about the poem that we didn't know before? Maybe what do we already know? And then what did we learn? What did we get out of this? Was there a lesson? I always think of certain movies or books where there's always a lesson in there. But some people learn different lessons out of different movies or different books, and it's kind of like looking at a picture and seeing two different images, and what image do you see compared to maybe others and what they might see? Trial and error. This is the last thing I'm going to have here, but one of those things that I feel like is important is, as a teacher, when teaching students, you need to let them discover. Let them learn, let them make their mistakes, let them grow, and the only way you're going to learn is to have a little bit of failure. Let them make those errors. If they make those errors, then they're going to say, why did that happen? And then come up with a solution to help correct those errors. Next is let them come up with their own solutions. Once again, don't give them hints. And you may start out with giving them hints, but eventually they need to be able to do that on their own. And then last but not least, let them be creative. They have imaginations, they have thoughts. There's not one kid that, without a little bit of a bump, they can come up with some ideas of their own. Thank you.